My name is Jason Shaver, and I work at Algoma Games for Health, which is a little startup studio that's being hosted by Algoma University and provided for, at least in large part, by the Innovation Center here. Well, I fill kind of two roles. I'm both a game designer, which encompasses things like coming up with gameplay ideas and different game ideas themselves, doing game concept documents and whatnot, as well as a programmer. Probably the programming duties are more forefront at the moment, and yeah, but with a combination of those two, I'm able to see a game through from start to finish for the most part. Well, I actually started fairly late in my educational career, deciding only after I'd finished my bachelor's in engineering physics that I kind of wanted a different direction for my life. So I looked around, kind of gauged what I was most interested in, and decided that I'd always been kind of started off as like a childhood dream, I guess, but it became something I could legitimately do. I guess get involved in the video game industry. So I looked for a program that would help me kind of turn what I had already into a more relevant degree for the programming or video game industry, and found the master's program at Algoma U, and decided that was perfect for me. And so I took that, and this is my first job since then. I like being involved in the process. I mean, like it's something special to see a game, to play a game that that you designed it, like you made it, you created it, you know all the intricacies of how it's working, how it's doing things. If something completely mundane could happen on the screen, and that you put a lot of work into that. That's actually a special bit of code or a bit of game design that took a significant amount of time or resources. It's just something, it's a very visible form of accomplishment. It's easy to see what you've done. That's kind of been my most satisfying thing so far. I mean, I'm early in my career here, but it's great to see something that I have worked on for so long and be playing it. It's wonderful. Maybe that it's so completely focused on like you have to know how you have to be an expert in computers, you have to be an expert in programming and that kind of thing. In reality, there's so many jobs that require only the barest minimum of kind of electronics knowledge. You'll see artists who do things completely by hand. The concept artists and whatnot. We had a student actually working for us who worked entirely using like paints and that kind of thing. We have there are story writers. There are just UI design artists who work, just mocking up things in pen and paper kind of thing. It's actually quite a varied industry, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of kind of the variety of jobs that are actually out there. Well, okay, firstly, you gotta have a passion for games. Playing a game and enjoying it, saying this game is fun is one thing, but it's another to kind of break down what exactly is making that game fun, and pull out the component pieces that you can, no matter which field you're in, art, programming, design, you have to kind of know, like, why was this game worthy versus this other game that's not as good? That will translate into your job, no matter what it is. Probably the very first game I can remember playing is the original Mario game, Super Mario Brothers, on the Nintendo Entertainment System. I had asked for the system itself for Christmas, and that was the game that came with it when I was a young guy, and I must have played that game till the game cartridge was starting to fall apart. That game probably formed my whole connection to video games, because it was, I mean, it's such a simple game. You look back at it nowadays and there's almost nothing to it. But the character, the story, the setting, the gameplay, all of that has lasted to this point, to the point where they still re-release that same game. People buy it, they make different iterations of Mario games, people still buy them. It's such an enduring concept that it never quite left me, and I'm sure it's not left a lot of people who originally played it. Thank you very much.